On today's lesson, we're going to be talking about geometry of straight lines, the relationship between angles. Now first, let's consider 5 types of angles in geometry. Number 1 is an acute angle. Now, acute angles are angles that are less than 90 degrees. Number 2 is a right angle. Right angles are angles that are equal to 90 degrees. Number 3 is an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Number 4 is a straight line angle. A straight line angle is equal to 90 degrees, is equal to 180 degrees. Then the next is a reflex angle. A reflex angle is basically greater than 180 degrees but less than 360 degrees. Let's go straight into the right angle. Remember we said a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. So let's say we draw a line here and then we call this angle here angle A, and then we call this an angle B. Since a right angle is equal to 90 degrees, it means that the sum of angle A and angle B is equal to 90 degrees. We would call angle A and B complementary angles because complementary angles are angles that sum up to 90 degrees. Now, let's say we're not given this angle, and say this angle here is angle 70 degrees, then we're asked to look for angle A. We would say 70 degrees plus A is equal to 90 degrees. Our reason being that they are complementary angles. Now, when we subtract 70 from both sides, we'll have A is equal to 90 degrees minus 70 degrees, which is 20 degrees. So our A is equal to 20 degrees. Let's try something else. Say we are given this angle to be say 40 degrees, and we're asked to find angle Y. You could pause this video and try it on your own. Okay. Then we would say 40 degrees plus Y is equal to 90 degrees. Our reason being that they are complementary angles. Then Y is equal to 90 degrees minus 40 degrees, which would give us 50 degrees. Easy, right? Now let's move on to straight line angles. Now this is a straight line, and we say that the sum of angles on the straight line is equal to 180 degrees. I'm going to explain something logical. Now let's say this is an angle 90 degrees and an angle 90 degrees. The sum, of course, would give us 180 degrees. So I think this explains why sum of angles of a straight line is 180 degrees. Now let's say this, we draw a straight line here, and then we call this angle say 25 degrees, and then this angle here, let's call it X. And now we are asked to find X. We say X plus 25 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Now, angles that sum up to 180 degrees are called supplementary angles. Remember, angles that sum up to 90 degrees are called complementary angles, but angles that sum up to 180 degrees are called supplementary angles. So, our reason would be that they are supplementary angles. Now, x, when we subtract 25 degrees from both sides, x is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus 25 degrees, which is equal to 155 degrees. Let's try solving another problem. So let's say let's draw a line here and say here, and let's say this is angle 20 degrees, and then this one here is angle 70 degrees, and then here we have an A, and we're asked to find A. Now we're going to say 70 degrees plus 20 degrees plus A is equal to 180 degrees. Our reason, sum of angles on a straight line is equal to 180 degrees, or we can say supplementary angles are equal to 180 degrees. Now, 70 degrees plus 20 degrees equals 90 degrees. Then when we subtract 90 degrees from both sides, we'll have A is equal to 180 minus 90 degrees, which is equal to 90 degrees. Now let's talk about another type of angle. Angles on a point. Now, say this is 90 degrees, and this is another right angle 90 degrees, and this is another right angle 90 degrees, and this is another 90 degrees. Now, angles on a point are equal to 360 degrees. If this is 90 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 90 degrees, it's going to sum up to 360 degrees. Now, this is a point. So we say angles on a point are equal to 360 degrees. Now, another angle we are going to be considering is vertically opposite angle. Now, this is angle A, and this is an angle B. Angle A and angle B are vertically opposite. If angle A is, say 90 degrees, angle B is automatically equal to 90 degrees because vertically opposite angles are equal. Same thing as angle C and angle D. Same thing as angle C and angle D. Angle C is equal to angle D because they are vertically opposite angles. Now let's solve a quick problem using what we already know. So now let's say this angle here is, say, 70 degrees, and then we're given another angle X here, and then this here is an angle Y, and we're asked to look for X and Y. Now we're going to say X is equal to 70 degrees. You could state your reason in a bracket, and the reason being that vertically opposite angles are equal. Now, since we already know that X is equal to 70 degrees, we could say Y plus 70 degrees, or Y plus X, is equal to 180 degrees. Angles on a straight line are equal to 180 degrees, or you could say supplementary angles are equal to 180 degrees. Then when you subtract 70 degrees from both sides, Y is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus 70 degrees, which is equal to 110 degrees. Now let's move into something else. Parallel lines. Now, parallel lines are lines that do not meet at any point. They remain the same distance apart. They do not converge or diverge at any point, no matter how far you extend them. These two lines are parallel lines. Now, this other line that we're going to talk about is a transversal line. A transversal line is a line that intersects two lines, in this case a parallel line. Now the intersection of these lines forms angles. We'll be talking about the relationship between these angles formed. Now this is an angle, let's call this angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to be studying the relationship between these angles. Now, angle 1 and angle 2, if you look at them, what do you think their relationship would be? Now, I would say angle 1 plus 2 is equal to 180 degree. Do you remember why? We said that supplementary angles are equal to 180 degree, or sum of angles on a straight line is equal to 180 degree. Now, angle 1 and angle 2 are on a straight line. Now, the relationship between angle 1 and 3 is also that they are on a straight line. They are angles on a straight line. So we could say angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. Now, angle 2 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degree. Same thing as 5 and 6. 6 and 7 is equal to 6 and 8 is equal to 180 degree. Angle 5 plus angle 7 is equal to 180 degree. Now, let's talk about the relationship between angle 2 and angle 3. What do you think their relationship would be? Now, recall vertically opposite angles. Now, I would say angle 2 is equal to angle 3 because they are vertically opposite angles. Same thing as angle 4 and angle 1. Angle 4 is equal to angle 1 because they are vertically opposite. Same thing as angle 6 is equal to angle 7, and angle 8 is equal to angle 5 because they are vertically opposite angles. Now, let's see, what else do we have? Now, what is the relationship between angle 1, 2, 3, and 4? Now, we are going to say angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 is equal to 360 degrees. Do you remember why? Remember we said that the sum of angles on a point, is equal to 360 degrees. So we have our reason, our theory here. Now, the same thing as angle 5, 6, 7, and 8. The sum of angles 5, 6, 7, and 8 is also going to be 360 degrees. Let's also consider the relationship between angle 3 and angle 7. Now, angle 3 is equal to angle 7. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. Corresponding. They are in the same position in the plane. Do you understand? Now, we're going to, if we say angle 5 and angle 1, angle 5 is also equal to angle 1 because they are corresponding angles. Now, same thing as angle 8 and angle 4. Angle 8 is equal to angle 4 because they are corresponding angles. And also angle 2 is equal to angle 6 because they are corresponding angles. Now let's consider the relationship between angle 1 and angle 8. Now angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate angles. Alternate angles are equal. So we say angle 1 is equal to angle 8 because they are alternate angles. Same thing as angle 2 and angle 7. They are alternate angles, so angle 2 is equal to angle 7. Let's look at another relationship. Consider angle 3 and angle 6. Angle 3 is also equal to angle 6 because they are alternate angles. Same thing as 5 and 4. Angle 5 is equal to angle 4 because they are alternate angles. Let's try out a few examples using everything we have talked about so far. Now let's say we are given this here as 70 degrees, and then this is x, and we're asked to find x. Remember alternate angles? We could say x is equal to 70 degrees because alternate angles are equal. Let's try out another example. Let's say we're given this angle here to be 30 degrees, and then we're asked to find A, B, C, let's say D, and let's call this E, and then this one F. What do you think? You could pause to try solving on your own. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I would say is B is equal to 30 degrees because vertically opposite angles are equal. And then I could also say now, since I know that B is equal to 30 degrees, I could say B plus A is equal to 180 degrees, sum of angles on a straight line, or supplementary angles. Now, A is going to be equal to, since B is 30 degrees, we'll be subtracting 30 degrees from both sides. A is going to be equal to 180 minus 30, which is going to be equal to 150 degrees. Now, A is 150 degrees. So now, easy, we could say our C is equal to 150 degrees because C is vertically opposite to A, and vertically opposite angles are equal. Now we've gotten our A, we've gotten our B, and we've gotten our C. Now let's look at another angle. We'll look at let's see, angle F. We could say angle F is equal to 30 degrees because angle F is alternate to angle B. So we could say angle F is equal to 30 degrees because angle F is alternate to 30 degrees and alternate angles are equal. Then we could say, let's erase this. Now we've gotten our A, B, C, and F. Now we're going to say, since F is 30 degrees, E is equal to F, which is equal to 30 degrees because vertically opposite angles are equal. And now since we have our F as 30 degrees, we could say D plus F is equal to 180 degrees, sum of angles on a straight line. Simple. We would have our D as 180 minus 30, which is equal to 150 degrees. Do you think this is difficult? Let me know in the comments. And you could try out a lot more problems on your own. But this is the end of today's lesson. I'll be making another video on triangles. So please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.